Thanks again for clicking on Bible Doubter, where a doubter can come with a sincere curiosity. Maybe you'll get something else you hadn't thought about before. And the focus today is on creation, the story of creation that we see in Genesis. At the beginning, let me tell you, I'm a Big Bang fan. I believe in the Big Bang Theory. Kind of one of my hobbies is cosmology. I've looked into it. Everything checks out. I believe the science. I believe in the creation story too. And I don't choose to look at those stories in the early part of the Bible as allegorical, though I know many sincere Christians do. As I understand, the reason why we have a Bible is to record redemption history. And our faith is built on correctly interpreting that. God acts in history, culminating in Jesus. God became a time-space event. It's all recorded accurately. Then the next level, it's interpreted properly. And that's what we build our faith on. We're not like a philosophical faith based on simply ideas like Confucianism or maybe Buddhism, many ideas. No, our faith is based on actual historical events because God chose to move through history, and we interpret that properly, and that's what our faith is built on. So I approach these things as literal. So how do they mesh? How does creation story and the Big Bang Theory relate to each other? Well, I will say this. The first chapter of the Bible, the creation story, was not necessarily written to describe how God created. That may not have been the emphasis. Most likely the emphasis was on who created, because back then they were worshiping all these things. The animals, the sun, moon, and stars, and all these various things. And the writer was saying, hey, it's one God that created all these things. Having said that, I'm kind of sold on the fact that God, knowing all of human history, would place things within the Bible that we kind of understand along the way. There may be a hint of how. To get to that, let me read some facts about the Big Bang. Pardon me if I don't scribble on the board here. I want to save some time. First scientific evidence of a Big Bang universe, 1916. Albert Einstein. He noted that in his field equations of general relativity, it did predict an expanding universe. 1925. A person whose name I don't dare pronounce, I'll put it in the notes below. He was an astrophysicist and a Jesuit priest, and he was the first scientist to promote a Big Bang creation event. Check the notes. In 1929, observations made by Edwin Hubble established that the velocity of galaxies result from general expansion of the universe. And in 1946, George Gamow calculated that nothing less than a universe expanding from a near infinite hot condition could account for the present abundance of elements. And then finally, in 1965, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson were the first to actually detect the background radiation predicted by the creation event. Okay, I'm fine with all that. What about the 7 days of creation, the 6 days of creation, and the 1 day of rest? I find it interesting that the first day of creation, God says, let there be light. Boom, the creation event. And there was. Day 4, the sun, the moon, and the stars are created. Why such a difference? Why is light created on day 1, but the sun, moon, and stars take quite a while to actually form? There may be hints here. There may be subtleties here. Maybe not. But this is my take, and I'm hoping I'm giving you something else to consider. Also, the way the Bible describes how God created, in 11 different verses in the Old Testament, he uses the phrase, he stretched out the heavens. Now, this is repeated over and over again. I will have in the notes, and I've got with me here 11 verses, 1 from Job, 1 from Psalms, 6 from Isaiah, 2 from Jeremiah, 1 from Zechariah, and they all describe the creation as the one who stretches out the heavens, stretched out the heavens, spread out the heavens. And if I were to bore you, and I have the notes here, I'm not going to go into it, with the grammar, the tense of the verbs and the cases that are used, it does literally mean a continual stretching out. Some of those verbs mean like an event that happened in the past, and the other times it's used as a continual stretching. There may be something there. And the words, I actually looked up the Greek words. the verb to stretch out can be translated to stretch out, to spread out, to extend, to incline, to bend, and the noun heaven or sky. Just to let you know that in my belief system, God, knowing all of human history, put enough clues in his Bible. Even if they didn't understand what they were writing then, we would understand it now. I don't take that as coincidence, and I hope you've considered that coming to Bible Doubter.